Hello everyone, and today we're going to be taking a look at DARTHMOD for Rome Total War. So, as you can see, the dark side was strong with Lanjane because he actually was able to mod folder this mod, because it used to be that DARTHMOD was one of those mods where you had to install it and then it would overwrite a lot of the vanilla files and you wouldn't be able to run any other mods alongside it, right? So even if they were mod foldered. So it basically broke your install, but you had this mod installed. But now, Lanjane actually packaged it nicely, fixed up some bugs, and now it's fully mod foldered. So that is quite nice indeed. So this mod is not really, I'm going to put it out there, it's not really one of my favorites. It's one of those that focuses a lot on the battles and the combat. It makes it a little grindy, right? Which is something that I think is common to most Darth mods. My favorite Darth mod of all time is probably Empire, because I think that's probably the game that needed that Darth mod touch the most, right? Making battles more cinematic, things like that. And, you know, Darth mod for Empire is really a pretty cool experience because of that. But for Rome, not so much. Same thing with Napoleon is cool too, but the same thing with Shogun, Medieval 2, Darth mod Rome. I was not the biggest fans of these, but this is the first Darth mod, to be honest. And you know, this mod is very vanilla in style, especially in terms of the economy. But in terms of battles, it's pretty different, and it utilizes the kind of the webbird unit textures, which a lot of people enjoy. I enjoy them as well. You'll find them in mods like Rome Total Realism Platinum Edition and others. So let's get into a campaign, and well, actually, before we do that, I want to take a look at some of these different campaigns here. So one of the features of DARTHMOD is that it has several different campaigns. So you've got the Imperial campaign, which is your standard Rome Total War, 270 BC start date. Now, you know, this mod does not do anything, despite utilizing the webbird textures that kind of tone down the colors of units and make things a little less gamey on that front graphically, and the emblems that make things a little less gamey in terms of the aesthetic. Except for the Armenian emblem, which looks like the coat of arms of the modern Republic of Armenia, which is kind of funny. But anyway, the historicity of the campaign, like the start positions, characters, pharaonic Egypt, none of that is addressed in DARTHMOD. So, and the Roman families as well are still here. So everything is pretty vanilla. And in some ways, some start positions, like look at this one for Armenia, some start positions are even worse, or Pontus. Some of the start positions are even worse than they are in vanilla. And I use worse to mean less historically accurate, which objectively means worse. So Numidia, wow. But anyway, let's go back and check out some of these other campaigns here. So as you saw, that was the main grand campaign that utilizes the vanilla map. However, there are a couple other maps here. For example, you've got Europa 270 BC. So Europa 270 BC is that wonderful, huge map that was ported by Ganim to Rome Remastered, which is now an open mod resource, and there are a bunch of mods that have taken advantage of it. It is a huge map. It's not the most accurate map, but in terms of the gameplay enhancement there, it's pretty massive. It's pretty epic to play on this map. This was one of the earliest huge maps for Rome Total War, if not the earliest. And it's pretty cool to see it here. And again, this is just the grand campaign scenario. A little more historically accurate than the vanilla map start positions, but again, not really. But yeah, look at Numidia there. Very interesting. Anyway, you also have these interesting Risk campaign. So I guess this is influenced sort of by the board game Risk, and what this does, there are different scenarios here. So this is a Punic Wars scenario, 216 BC start date, and you can play as the Scipii or the Brutii, and it's the Punic War scenario. So I'll be showing off all these campaigns in just a moment. But you also have this one, this Risk campaign. It reduces the number of... This is another grand campaign scenario on the vanilla map. It reduces the number of provinces to below 70, right? As it says over here in the description. And so you can really finish a campaign really quickly. So if you are a sort of completionist, and you want to finish a campaign, but you've never found yourself able to in vanilla, then here is a campaign for you. I will, again, show this in a bit. You also have this Risk campaign UR. And I believe... I actually don't know what this means. I'll take a look at this. This is the one campaign I've never looked at. I've looked at the other ones, but I have to look at that. And then you have this Roman campaign. And so this is a campaign that is just balanced for the Romans, sort of 280 BC start date. We'll be taking a look at this one as well. So now let's get into the grand campaign of the Imperial campaign, and I will showcase several aspects of DARTHMOD Rome here. That sounds good. All right, so here we are, and of course we are playing as Pontus, everyone's favorite faction. And as you can see, you start with even more territory than you do in vanilla. And in vanilla, Pontus has Pontus and Cappadocia, right? But here you've got Galatia and Bithynia as well, which is, of course, not accurate at all. But I mean, yeah. Anyway, unit rosters are pretty similar to vanilla here, but of course they utilize the Webbird unit skins, which I really like. Pontus is probably the one I like the least in terms of all the Webbird units, but I want to take a look at the stats here. So as you can see, all of the combat here, all the stats have been rebalanced quite a bit, right? So DARTHMOD is famous for its formations, right? You can't edit the AI in Rome Total War. You can do a little bit more to edit battle AI and recruitment AI in Rome Remastered, but not in original Rome Total War. And so you could only really mod the formations, right? So there's the Darth formations, there's Sinuhet formations, and there are Supanuts formations. So those are the formations I'm aware of. So Darth has his own formations that he made for this mod, utilized in other mods too, like Chivalry, or edited versions of it. But as you can see, defense is pumped up quite a bit in this mod, and melee attack and attack in general is toned down a little bit. So battles are going to be longer, a little grindier. You know, DARTHMOD Rome is not as grindy as perhaps the SPQR mod or Roma Surrectum, right? So... but I'd say it's a little more than other mods, right? More than other mods. More than, I think, Rome Total Realism. But anyway, as you can see, if you take a look at the buildings here, buildings are pretty vanilla in terms of the units they unlock, in terms of their build times, in terms of construction time. So in terms of the economy, things are pretty much the same. Roads are 1 turn. Shrines are 1 turn. Wooden walls are 2 turns. 800 denarii, right? So basically the economy is quite vanilla. I want to say almost exactly vanilla. And the the characters, the sort of balance is pretty vanilla, but the look is more realistic, the look of the mod. And of course, the battles are a little more immersive, right? They're slower. You have to take your time a little bit more. And there are less rebel provinces around, right? So let's take a look at the Fog of War here. So there are very few rebel provinces here, if any. If any, yeah, there are very few. Like in Illyria, there are a couple up here in the north. In the Baltic, there are a couple. So yeah, very few rebel provinces. This mod has really... Darth Vader really hated rebel provinces. And that actually makes sense, because Darth Vader hates the rebels. So now we're here in the Europa 270 BC map. And I have to say, this is an earlier version of the Europa 270 BC map. So the later versions are actually notable for some stability problems, even though they look better and they have a few more features. And of course, one of the later versions is the one that Ganim ported to Total War Rome Remastered. But this is one of the early versions of that. I think this might be the first one, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a bit more of a simple map, you could say. And I have to say, it's quite nice. It's quite nice, especially playing with the sort of vanilla mechanics, with a more vanilla province spread, right? So nothing is too dense here. If someone really wants to play a long campaign in the vanilla style, you know, with your Senate, Roman families, and all that, you know, it's nice. It's nice. It's not, again, not the mod for me, but it's nice. And this one with the big map is a little bit more of a vanilla type experience, because even though, again, a lot of rebel provinces have been given to major factions just because, and also I don't even think there was any, it seems like there have only been gameplay considerations in terms of what provinces to give to which faction, because on the vanilla map, for example, Pontus has more of Asia Minor, but on this map, it has, you know, all the way up to the Bosporus, whereas Armenia had the Bosporus in the vanilla map. So, and then Scythia, I don't know, that seems like a very complicated start position. It's very interesting, that's for sure. This is definitely not the campaign for me. If you're going to have such a big map, I definitely prefer having more factions. This is definitely, yeah, it's interesting, but again, it's not the campaign for me. But if you like a ton of battles, I think this large map will happily oblige you. So now let's take a look at the Risk style campaign here. All right, so here we are in the Risk style campaign, and it seems like all the names are like spelled in a sort of Polish. They look to be Polish versions, but anyway, it still makes sense. Now, as you can see, there are a ton of provinces that are not present on this map. So this map actually has fewer provinces than even vanilla, right? So this is something that is almost unheard of in most mods, where, you know, there are even fewer provinces than the vanilla game. And I have to say, I think that's a very interesting idea. I think this is probably one of the most interesting aspects of DARTHMOD for Rome Total War, because, I mean, there's so few provinces. It makes the map seem really small. And I think that's pretty cool, actually. You know, again, this is not the campaign for me, but, you know, if I do a Let's Play on the channel of DARTHMOD, I will definitely do it on this map, because there are so few provinces. I feel like I could maybe finish up the campaign. And that's how this campaign is advertised. It's advertised as a campaign you can complete in a day or two. And I think that's definitely doable. I mean, look, most factions have 1 or 2 provinces. It's definitely possible. So, yeah, if you want to see a DARTHMOD playthrough, then this is the map I would do it on. So now let's take a look at the Punic Wars campaign. Okay, so here we are in the Punic Wars campaign, and yeah, basically this is a campaign that has a start date of 216 BC, and yeah, basically you start off with a giant Carthaginian army in Italy, in Capua, and other than that, everything else is pretty much the same as the other Risk-style campaign. So, yeah, I guess there's not much else to say about this. Again, since start positions are not historical, this just basically forces an early war between Rome and Carthage, and I think that's pretty cool. It's, again, purely a sort of gameplay-oriented thing, and I mean, that's fine. So let's next take a look at that other Risk-style campaign, the one I've never looked at. Okay, so here we are in the other Risk-style campaign, the one that says "you are" at the end of it. And oh, it's United Rome. Okay, I should have known. So yeah, this is just a United Rome Risk-style campaign. I wish they had one for just the vanilla map, but I mean, that's fine. So yeah, that's actually cool because it sort of evens out things, because the Roman families just had 1 province each. That might have toned down Rome a little bit too much compared to the other factions on this Risk-style campaign map. So I actually like this one a little bit more than the other one, since it gives Rome a bit of a buff there. But other than that, everything is pretty much the same as the other Risk-style map, so there's not much else to say about this. So next, let's take a look at the Roman campaign. Okay, so here we are in the campaign labeled Roman campaign. So this looks like a United Rome campaign for Webbird's 270 BC map. And you can see why it's called Roman campaign, because it starts out in 280 BC instead of 270 with Pyrrhus's giant Epirote army and elephants right in southern Italy against the Romans here. So that's actually pretty cool indeed. So actually, this looks like a pretty cool campaign. I would say this one is a little more interesting, especially for the Romans. It's the more interesting of the 2 Europa 270 BC maps because, again, the map, if your faction starts out really big on that map, then especially in the original Rome Total War, the AI has a real tough time. And it just makes it kind of a grind. So I actually like this one a little bit more. You start out a bit smaller, and it actually ups the challenge quite a bit. If you love the Romans, try this one. But in any case, I'm going to open up one of the Risk-style campaigns here and just play a couple turns for this showcase. All right, so here we are in the Risk-style campaign. We're playing as the Brutii. So this is the regular Risk-style campaign, not with the United Rome. So we have to take Apollonia, which in this version is controlled by Macedon. So let's get our troops onto our ships, and we'll move against the Macedonians there. And let's take a quick look at the buildings again, just for a refresher. And as you can see, everything is pretty much exactly the same as vanilla in terms of the economic mechanics. So let's get into a battle with the enemy troops there, and I'll see you there. All right, so here we are on the battle map, and let's quickly take a look at our units here. So let's not set up in the forest there, because I want to show off some of these Roman units here. Okay. So the DARTHMOD utilizes the Webbird units, and the Webbird units look really, really nice. I really like them. They're some of the best in terms of having a uniform style. I think they're some of the best Rome Total War unit rosters ever created. You'll find them also in Rome Total Realism Platinum Edition. Right, they just look really good. And these ones, they seem to be slightly recolored for the Brutii, but I'm not 100% sure. But in any case, yeah, you can see these are the Hastati. You could argue that the colors in Webbird's units are toned down a little bit too much, but I mean, all things considered, I think they are quite nice indeed. So let's quickly fight with Pyrrhus here. Take a look at this battle balance. Again, battles here are slower than vanilla, but you know, units are still weak to morale shocks here. So actually, I find that battle balance here is better than later DARTHMODs. Like DARTHMOD Empire, I'm not a huge fan of the battle balance there, or Napoleon, but yeah, here I kind of like them. So let's quickly get our Velites to move up against these Phalangite troops. As you can see, they look quite nice indeed, as do all the other units. And again, I'm closing my eyes to every historical inaccuracy in here, so I will not talk about Pyrrhus leading the Macedonian army. Okay, so they're moving in. I guess I'll just charge in here. I kind of want to see some of this battle balance in terms of phalanx troops from the front, Hastati hitting them from the front versus from the side, things of that nature. So as you can see, our javelins have done some slight damage to their infantry, but again, troops in phalanx formation are quite resistant to missiles, especially from the front. So our Hastati are going to move in there. Let's have our general. I like the Roman general's bodyguard here. They look pretty cool. We'll have our general circle around as well. Okay, so from the front, yeah, you know, this battle, while it is slower than a vanilla battle, it's still pretty fast, the pacing. And that's pretty interesting. Based on the unit stats, I would have thought the pacing would be a little slower, but that doesn't seem to be the case. It is slower, but it's not as slow as, you know, mods like Europa Barbarorum or Roma Surrectum, of course. So actually, it's pretty much what I said at the start, which is why I said it, because I've fought battles here before. So, yeah, Hastati, why aren't you throwing your pila? Oh, these are the royal pikemen. That's why they look much nicer. So a good thing about this is that, you know, some people complain about mods like Roma Surrectum, Europa Barbarorum, slowing down the lethality of units a little too much. And, you know, as I've gotten older, you know, when I was younger, I used to think Roma Surrectum's battles were the best thing since sliced bread. However, as I've gotten older and I don't have as much time, I prefer when battles are a little quicker. So this one, even this one took a little bit longer than I'd like, especially because this unit was fully surrounded and things. I guess, you know, it's Royal Pikemen, so that's why they didn't go down that quickly. But they went down, right? I didn't have to grind them down for 20 minutes, right? So that's definitely something I have gotten over, right, in terms of my battle preferences. So in any case, I think DARTHMOD's balance is pretty good. Pretty good. I really like it here. I like it better, like I said, than in DARTHMOD Napoleon, DARTHMOD Empire, DARTHMOD Shogun. I think battles are slowed down too much in those. And while they do look really cinematic, especially in Empire and Napoleon, I really enjoy the effects in those especially. And there's actually a mod I've talked about which lets you utilize the Darth effects in Empire, but without the other DARTHMOD additions. Yeah, the battle balance, not really for me. But in any case, let's take a look at this cavalry charge. The enemy, of course, just waited, as Pyrrhus is wont to do. And I think this might be a good place to end this video. So if you enjoy videos about the historical Total Wars and their mods, consider liking this video, consider subscribing to the channel, consider taking a look at DARTHMOD Rome, because it's a pretty interesting package. Like I said, it's not for me, but it's pretty good if you like that sort of, especially if you like the vanilla economic gameplay, but you feel battles are a little too fast and you want a little bit of an improvement in terms of that aspect. I think this mod is pretty interesting, and the risk style campaigns are pretty interesting. And of course, it wouldn't be a Gudea video if one of my generals didn't just die in front of the camera. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Later.